but now he's gonna be down another gateway. So this is a terrible loss, and of course this range upgrade is online now. Got to be careful this Stealer doesn't get drawn out just working on his shields. But the pretty big unit composition being worked up here for Nirvana, and this choke is really working to his favor. He's got a couple of sentries here so that he can do a force field trap, and really Moonglade cannot push in with this many Hydras. Although Moonglade is now getting online his hatchery at this gold expansion, which is going to give him huge mineral advantage, and he's just interested in containing right now, keeping a close eye on this expansion, making sure that Nirvana cannot sneak anywhere, although he did see that War Prism before, so he has the option of trying for a sneaky expansion, but right now he really needs to break this contain, and we are seeing that Spire come online for Moonglade, so he's going to be able to get Corruptors to counter these Colossi, and the first Colossi is out now, no range upgrade yet, really hurting for gas to try and get that online, but once that's out, it's going to do so much damage to these Hydras. It's almost makes Zerg cry on the spot if they're fighting lots and lots of Colossi without any kind of air support to take those Colossi out. So curious to see what Moonglade's going to go into once this Spire comes online, whether he goes mass Corruptors or whether he's going to pump out the Mutalisks here. Just looking at the income, Moonglade's already starting to pull ahead. He does have significantly less drones right now. He's pumping a few to try and catch up. He was down 31 and 26 for a moment there, but looking at the income, he's already taking the lead. He's up by 200 there, and this gold expansion, if he can keep that in line and he doesn't lose it to these Colossi, then he's going to be in great shape. A little bit slow on the spreading creep this game. He's just been focusing on that contain for so long, but he didn't really lose anything in doing it. He caught Nirvana completely unawares by taking out that War Prism, and here we see these Colossi walking up these cliffs, which is just probably one of the reasons we're not getting too many Kulos replays, because these cliffs are just so good for Colossi. They're also great for siege tanks and strong point positions. You'll even see siege tanks going on the Zelnaga, and we are seeing this nice unit composition for Nirvana pushing out now. Going to catch Moonglade a little bit unawares. This expansion is going to go down. He's going to need to evacuate the probes. They're in terrible shape, and we do see them flee right now. Even the Queen trying to run for it. Moonglade looking like he's just going to sacrifice this, sending in his Corruptors to try and work on these Colossi, and trying to take out this proxy pylon, which is really good for the reinforcements. Nirvana is kind of forced to engage here. His retreat lines are a little bit cut off. Corruptors coming in, but he's wisely microing it, but the first Corruptor taking lots and lots of damage. This one is weakened as well. These Corruptors working on the first Colossi. One Colossi goes down, two Colossi goes down, but his main units broke half these Hydras in half, and the Immortals are still in great shape. Corruption going off, but these Hydras are being melted. All the Zerglings got evaporated, and this is bad news for Moonglade. Force field trapping a bunch of Hydras, and they are so slow. So they're just getting executed here. It's really slow for Hydras off creep, and they just hit that purple gooey goodness, and they're like, ah, I can run really fast now. So really unfortunate engagement there for Moonglade. Even though the Corruptors took out those Colossi really nicely, they unfortunately can't do much other than cast Corruption on ground units. So Nirvana, even though he lost his Colossi there, he did denied his gold expansion, which is being rebuilt, so we'll see if he's on top of the scouting and whether he picks this gold re-expansion up. Just trying to get his proxy pylon engaged so he can reinforce quite handily from there. It's always a nuisance from a Zerg point of view when these proxies, especially on a map like Kulos, when you have all these little nooks and crannies all over the place and next to Zelnagas, and there's these two open Zelnagas in the middle of the map. There's so much map area for you to control. You've got to spread creep absolutely everywhere, and taking this gold expansion is so aggressive. Nirvana's going to lose another proxy pylon, unfortunate for him, but he's trying to secure his own expansion here, looking to capitalize on that good engagement, just trying to keep Moonglade a little bit honest. Although Moonglade, once he gets his gold up, will once again have that income advantage, although right now for some reason Nirvana doing a transfer, so his income drops right down because he mined out his main. So just switching his probes online there, it was a little bit late in that expansion, which is going to cost him, but you'll notice that Moonglade isn't quite mined out because he didn't have as many drones, and he was shepherding drones like we see now to his gold expansion once again. So a little bit of a resource glitch there for Nirvana, who was focusing so much on his micro. He's got to be careful with that. But another good unit composition, another narrow fight. Sentries throwing those beautiful force fields. catching one Hydra there. He cannot run. That's a little bit of a mistake by Nirvana. He should take that out, but he split his units, and these are just horrible choke points for Zerg to attack. They can come around the side and the other side, but they really want the open fight in these open areas, not to fight in these little chokes where they're going to be force fielded and cut off the Zerglings from the Hydras. So really unfortunate positioning there for Moonglade, who has so many Hydras, and he probably think about throwing down an infestation pit to try and get hit the advantage back, and possibly even think about hive tech now that he's got his economy up and running. And once again, look at that massive advantage from having that gold expansion online. Similar harvest account, both around 31, but the gold advantage is so huge. He's up by 400, and looking at Nirvana, he's only really got this base having the main completely mined out. There's still 10 minerals that he left up there just to have a little mineral mascot in his base, but other than that, the economic advantage is definitely in Glade's court. It's just a case of whether or not he can micro his Corruptors sneakily enough to take out these Colossi without losing too many Hydras. Looking like these armies could unfortunately run into each other right here. Moonglade recognizing he doesn't want to fight off creep. Nice little trap force field going there, cutting the Hydras off. They've got to be careful. One more force field will cut them off. Ah, that's terrible. These Hydras are split, forced to engage, taking huge damage from the Colossi, which are not running from the Corruptors. The Corruptors will finally take the Colossi out, but there's so many dead Hydras on the ground. They're all just piles of Zerg muck. This is terrible news for Glade right here. Nirvana is still unaware of the gold re-expansion. Will be interested to find out whether he's going to push straight into Glade's main or cut off this gold expansion. Looking like he's going to go check the gold expansion, thinking something might be up, and this is going to be bad news for Glade. He can ill afford to have this offline, especially with no other base. We will see those probes flee once again, but once again the Queen is just not going to make it out. Oh, somehow the Queen survives, and now she's really slow. She's like hiding behind this cliff while these Stalkers work on this gold expansion, once again taking that hatch out. And this is terrible for Moonglade by taking this gold expansion, but he's gone and sent his Zerglings into Nirvana's main here, forcing Nirvana to retreat. Probes coming off the line to try and defend. There's one Zealot in there. Desperation micro from Nirvana trying to save his probes, while Moonglade is going to go and try and take out this hatchery, although the main army from Nirvana is coming back. He needs to hurry up. These Zerglings trying to pick off the probes. Hydra's going to get caught out. They're going to drop the Nexus, so this is terrible news for Nirvana. He does not have a Nexus at main mining. He's forced to long distance mine and re-elect his Nexus, so Nirvana probably going to think about a push right now because he's in terrible shape, and his Zerglings still rampaging in his base, taking off a bunch of haphazard probes that were still picking up these main gas mining. So now his gas mining is offline, the simulators are up, but he's long distance mining while these poor Zerglings try to get out of there, and Moonglade taking the last 65 minerals out of his base, but he doesn't have any expansions. Needs to throw down a hatchery. He has the money saved to put a hatch up somewhere, but he doesn't have many units, whereas Nirvana doesn't have any bases, but he's got these units surviving, warping in another sentry, so not even saving for the Nexus there, just long distance mining. This is crucial for Nirvana to finish this off right here, because his mineral doesn't exist. He's spent his last remaining resources on these units as opposed to another Nexus, so he wants to end this right now, whereas Moonglade, bunch of Hydras, pulling his drones off, looking like he's going to use them to fight because he doesn't have a hatchery, doesn't have anything really. This is going to be all it for both players. Both players in bad economic shape, really need to win this fight, and the advantage Moonglade is here, although his Hydra count is low, he can fight pretty nicely, micro pretty nicely with his speed advantages on this creep. Really going to be interested. Even a mascot probe in there. Why not? At this point, Corruptors coming in completely useless other than corruption. They're going to add that 20% extra damage, especially on the model, helpful. Nirvana